Hi, welcome to another episode of MCC Connects. I'm Mary Jo Griffin. Joining me now is Johannah Segarich, Professor of Music at Middlesex Community College, and she's here today to talk about the Strings for Cambodia project. Welcome, Johannah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really pleased to be here.
Let's start first with a little bit about you, Johannah. Where are you from? How did you get to Middlesex Community College?
All right. Well, for a very long time, I was a professional classical singer. I performed throughout the New England area in opera and oratorio and recital. And it's been, oh my goodness, almost 22 years now since I started as an adjunct at Middlesex. And then gradually I took on more and more teaching and eventually became full-time and sort of the professional performing lesson somewhat. And so I've been here for quite some time and just love teaching.
So let's start a little bit about what is the Strings for Cambodia?
Strings for Cambodia is a project that developed out of a trip that I took to Cambodia 2 years ago. It was part of a Fulbright Hayes grant, and it is a project to raise funds to send Western stringed instruments to the Royal University of Fine Arts in Phnom Penh, Cambodia.
So how did all that come about? How did you, was this a project that you found or a project that found you? Mm-hmm. How did you end up in Cambodia?
All right. The Fulbright Hayes is a federal grant, and the grant came as a group project through Middlesex Community College, and it involved 6 Middlesex professors and 6 teachers from the public schools here in Lowell. Mm-hmm. And we traveled to Cambodia in the summer of 2010 to meet with educators and talk about exchanging ideas and getting to know the people there in Cambodia, partly so that we could infuse that information into our courses here, mm-hmm. but also to see if there couldn't be some way to help the people there.
So how did the music become a focus of the grant in the visit to Cambodia?
Each of us had a proposal and a project that we wanted to work on, and of course as a musician, mm-hmm. Mine involved music. I wanted to learn more about the music of Cambodia. I knew some, but I wanted to learn more, and I did learn a great deal. So when I connected with the people at the Royal University of Fine Arts, they were so welcoming, and they were able to give me information that I wanted. They did demonstrations of the music for me. The students played. And then I was also able to do a master class for them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which was fun.
Were they all English speaking at the university?
Not all. Some. Most of the people there speak at least some English. But if they didn't speak English, they had a translator.
And why did you choose Western instruments to be the focus of?
Well, that's a very good question, because I didn't choose Western instruments. I went there thinking, well, you know, I want to help to carry on the traditions of the Khmer music, the traditional music. I want them to help them to record that or whatever. But what happened is that the people at the university, when I said, is there a way that I can help you? They said, yes, please. We really need Western instruments. We don't have access to that. The people in Cambodia, most of them, live on maybe $30 a month, $1 a day. That's the average income. And at the university, they too, all of the, from the very lowest levels of society up to the higher levels, people are struggling to reestablish themselves. So this university was completely shut down during the time of the Khmer Rouge. Mm-hmm. Many of the performers and teachers were killed because they were targeted as the first people.
Because the
Pol
more
wanted to
and the better educated they were, the higher targets they were.
Right. So they're struggling along, and they're trying to teach young students not only the traditional Khmer music, but they want them to be able to take their place on the world stage as mm-hmm. well. And in addition, they want to learn Western music and able to learn notation, because the Khmer music is an oral tradition. It's passed on from teacher to each individual student in an oral way, or in a just by learning by rote or learning by technique. Mm-hmm. It's not written down traditionally. So they want to teach the students Western music so that they can write down the music, also so that they can learn to play the wonderful Western classical music. And what they're using right now are very old and inferior wooden instruments.
And you want to change that to the carbon?
Carbon fiber. It's this new, innovative way of making instruments. It was developed by a former member of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, Luis Leguia. And while he was still a member of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, he established a company to make stringed instruments, violins, violas, cellos, and double basses, out of carbon fiber, which of course is a sustainable material. And it's also, it's ideal for use in Cambodia because Cambodia has a very hot, very humid climate. Most of the buildings, and none of the buildings at RUFA, which is Royal University, none of them have air conditioning. So wooden instruments are very susceptible to the climatic conditions, whereas the carbon fiber will be much more durable.
Do you have a fund set up here? Or
We do, and thanks to the Middlesex Community College Foundation, who are acting as our financial repository, we are able to accept donations through the foundation that go directly to Strings for Cambodia. There's no overhead. I don't get anything from this except the pleasure of doing it. And so all of the funds that are raised will go directly toward the purchase and the shipping of these instruments to Cambodia.
Is there a minimum amount you want to raise?
To raise, yes. There's no minimum amount we would accept. But what our goal is $50,000. That would enable us to send just maybe 2 of each of the instruments. We've decided that shipping the double bass is so exorbitant that we're really focusing on the violins, violas, and cellos. And we would be able to ship maybe 2 of each of those. That would be the core of each section of an orchestra. Because the other thing that they want to do, in addition to using them for teaching, they want to establish the first national symphony orchestra since before the Khmer Rouge.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Well, Johannah Segarich, Professor of Music at Middlesex Community College, I wish you a lot of luck in your Strings for Cambodia, and I hope that the people watching will go online to our website and look up Strings for Cambodia, and that we'll get these funds raised in the very near future.
Thank you so much. It's been really a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned.